But did you bring the bibs?
Oh, I thought you was going to bring them.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
Your weekend of football starts here at Ellen Road with the Yorkshire Derby as Leeds United meet Sheffield United for the first time in 6.5 years. Last Saturday's impressive victory over Bristol City ended a run of 3 straight defeats for Thomas Christensen's side, and hopes are high amongst the fans and the players that are now back to the sort of form that saw them lead the Sky Bet Championship in September. But that win at Ashton Gate was the first time this season they've beaten a side in the current top 10. And tonight, they face a team who have made a superb start to life, back in the second tier.
The Blades are cut above in League One last season. This half of Sheffield is united again. And the Blades inflict the first wound. Oh, a stunning start! John Fleck with a searing strike. The former Wednesday man strikes for the Blades, and they have this derby in a vice-like grip. Inside and outside he goes, that's a stunning goal! How on earth did he manage that? And Clark is there again! That is derby victory for Sheffield United. This club is alive again.
A victory over playoff finalist Reading on Saturday made it 8 wins from 10 for Sheffield United, and another 3 points this evening would send them top of the Sky Bet Championship. Chris Wilder's side have already beaten Wolves, Derby and of course Sheffield Wednesday. How they'd love to add Leeds United to that list. Well, it's 4th versus 3rd this evening. Victory for Leeds and they stay 4th, but will go just a point off an automatic promotion place, and 3 from leaders Wolves. A Sheffield United win and they go top of the Sky Bet Championship for the first time in nearly 12 years. Which would be an absolutely incredible rise when you think that just over a year ago they were bottom of Sky Bet League One, but this will not be easy here at Ellen Road against the Leeds side that just over a month ago were top of the Championship themselves. Delighted to say alongside Keith Andrews and myself, Michael Brown, who played for both of these clubs. And Michael, Sheffield United have been fantastic so far this season, but are we seeing a newly promoted side that have made a good start or are capable of reaching the Premier League?
Well, we keep saying they've made a good start, but it continues and they're progressing nicely through each game. I think we watched them in the Sheffield Derby when I was last on the show. I mean, it was a fantastic performance, and you just go down there with them in the tunnel. They're excited, they want to be here, and I think they want to take it on the front foot. And I think that's the difference when you are a promoted team. Have you got that confidence to do well, to go and take the game to a team like Leeds United? And they certainly believe that they can do that.
Keith, how far could tonight's game go in terms of proving that either way?
I think it's a test for both sides. I like the way we're going to see a bit of a difference in terms of the contrast of styles tonight, but I think both sides, I would say, are probably just ahead of schedule. I think Leeds have probably anticipated being around the top 6, but Sheffield far greater than probably what they even expected themselves, and they're, like what Michael's just said, they're full of confidence. I think the key for them is that they're respecting the opposition, but they're not fearing anybody in this division, and rightly so. In terms of Leeds, it seems to be either total euphoria or doom and gloom. I mean, what is it like being at a club? Is that what you get, the size of Leeds United here in the Championship?
Well, I think the fans are used to being like that at Leeds United, and I think you know, for the first time this season, I've seen them excited. They've seen the positive. I think things are changing around the stadium with the team. I think it's going to take time. I think they hit the highs very, very early, which can be slightly dangerous. Everybody thinks then they're going to be there all season. So they're still adapting, new team, new players, but they're certainly going in the right direction.
Keith, where does the truth lie for you? How do you view the starts that Leeds have made? Good. I think it's been good. I think if you disperse those three losses in a row, kind of in and around it, you got to remember the opposition they played against: Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday and Reading. Good sides. I think that just basically what happened in that little run was
it's the Championship. That's what happens. I think he's tweaked it nicely in the last week or so, and they'll be all right.
Well, Andy Hinchcliffe is part of our commentary team. He's got the team news. Andy, what with Leeds United back to winning ways, and of course Sheffield United were having the chance of going top of the Championship. We're for some game, aren't we?
It should be absolutely fantastic, but the key thing is, and what changes the complexion of tonight's game, is that Leeds performance against Bristol City. Off the back of 3 straight defeats, they went to Ashton Gate, a tough place to go and play, and they won 3-0, so they get confidence and belief going into a big game tonight. Sheffield United had a fantastic season, we know, so they will be looking forward to tonight, so it should be an absolute humdinger. Just looking at the two sides, we'll start with Leeds, of course, the home side. Just one change for them. Vernon Anita comes in at left back because Gaetano Berardi was actually sent off at Ashton Gate, so he's suspended. Ronaldo Vieira came into that side. It was his first start of the season against Bristol City, and he was man of the match. He brings a bit of steel and a bit of aggression there in the middle of the park, which they needed at Ashton Gate, and they're certainly going to need tonight. He's only a young man, but he's got a really influential role. He did at Ashton Gate, and he will here tonight. But one player who is absolutely key, I feel, for Leeds United, not just tonight, but in terms of if they are going to challenge for a top 6 finish, and that is Lasogga. Against Bristol City, Leeds played a lot more direct. They got the ball up to their striker a lot more quickly rather than playing across the park. And Lasogga is a big, powerful centre forward. Just want to show you what he's capable of when the service into him is right. So this is early on in the season against Burton. He grabbed a couple of goals, very different goals. As you see here, a little layoff, and then he uses his power and strength to battle against centre-halves, get away from them. And he's a really tidy finisher as well. But he's not just good on the floor, he has an ability to get off the ground. He's a big man, but he times his headers ever so well. And he's a really considered header of the ball. He doesn't just thump it towards the goal and hope it goes in. As you can see here, once he gets off the ground, it's hard to deal with, but he heads it right in the corner. It's a real considered header. And again, set pieces, he's going to be a real danger to Sheffield United as well. Times his run brilliantly. Again, it's just a flicked header. But again, if the service is right for Lasogga, it could work out well for Leeds tonight, and in the way they want to challenge for the top 6. So going back to the teams, looking at Sheffield United, no surprise really, they've had a fantastic run. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. They beat Reading last time out, and this is the same team that played against Reading again. Chris Wilder goes with the 3-5-2 formation that has worked so well. They're not a flash in the pan, Sheffield United. 12 months they've been playing well now, playing with these 3 centre-halves. And what's so unusual about them is the way that Chris encourages his wide centre-halves in Basham, down this right-hand side. He'll be encouraged to get forward, and O'Connell's encouraged to get forward, actually getting past the wing-backs. So in the wide areas, they overload the opposition, and actually 80% of Sheffield United's attacks come down the flank, so they get very good service into the box, and that is absolutely vital when you've got someone like Billy Sharp up front for you. Of course, maybe a bit of a point to prove, a former Leeds player. He spent a season here at Ellen Road, and Billy Sharp really is, he lives up to his name really. He's always waiting for that ball to drop, expecting, anticipating the ball is going to fall his way. This is a game against Derby when the ball actually ends up going back to the goalkeeper. It's a poor clearance, but just look how quickly Billy Sharp reacts, how he adjusts his body and he tucks that back into the far corner. There's not many strikers that will be ready for an opportunity like that. This is a great example, not just of Billy Sharp, but of the way that Sheffield United like to get their centre-halves forward. This is O'Connell breaking forward. He actually overlaps the wing-back to get into the wide position, and he's the one that actually delivers the ball into the box. And just as he crosses this ball, it's going to show you the position here of Billy Sharp. You've got 3 defenders. A lot of them are watching the ball. Look at Billy Sharp. He's not got himself attached to any of the defenders. He's found space for himself in a really congested area. And no surprise, he anticipates the ball in and he finishes it quite brilliantly. And this was against Reading. This is in the last game. Again, it underlines the play and move football that Sheffield United have shown so many times this season. Again, just before the cross comes in, the fullback isn't round on the cover, the centre-half is ball watching, and there's Billy Sharp in between defenders. It's going to be a tap-in for him, but he's made it a tap-in because, again, of his attacking intelligence. So Billy Sharp, certainly one player that Leeds have got to take particular care of tonight because he can be such a danger. So Scott, we've had the teams, some of the tactics there, some of the key individuals to look out for tonight, but I'm sure we're in for a cracking game. It's a feisty local derby under the lights. It's going to make it really atmospheric. There's a lot to play for as well. Sheffield United can go top of the Championship if they win tonight, so I'm expecting an absolute cracker.
Thanks, Andy. Great stuff. We'll come on to Billy Sharp a little bit later on, but in terms of Lasogga, Keith, do you feel he is the man to take Leeds, score the goals to the Premier League?
I think he's as close as what they could have got for the money. I know he's on loan and there's maybe a view to a permanent. Physically, similar stature. His movement is quite bright. I think in and around the mid-third, he needs to protect the ball a little bit better for the team. And I think last weekend we've seen that they played off him a little bit more direct, and I think that suited his game more.
His linking up play perhaps not as good as Chris Wood, but I've been told his finishing is even better, which is saying something. Do you ask as a manager, a striker who scores goals, to change his game, or do you have to change your game and adapt towards him?
We have to play to his strengths. I think obviously his finishing ability is great, and I think speaking to some boys down in the dressing room area, I think this hold-up play is something they're looking to improve. I think especially aerially when it's up to him, so if they can get it into his feet a little bit better. But I think the supply's not been there for him, so they've obviously gone a bit more direct at Bristol game, and it's whether they'll do the same again. But I think, you know, I think it's just about him playing to his strengths and getting him in the right positions.
Well, Thomas Christensen has certainly been through a few ups and downs already in his short spell as the Leeds head coach. If he didn't know about the size of this club, he certainly does now. Let's get his pre-match thoughts with Jonathan Oates.
Thomas, do you go into this game with a different mentality after winning your last league match? Has that changed the mood?
Well, I hope that our performance will be the same as the last game against Bristol. The confidence, of course, after a good result, it's better. But today we have to prove that we are in the right way and that the team perform as expected.
Will there be a similar approach as well, perhaps a bit more direct, getting the ball forward quicker?
Well, we will see how the game will go. We know about our opponent, how they play, and try to combat that in our way.
Is that recent bad run truly behind you, or do you need to prove it tonight with tonight's result?
Well, we need to make a big performance, good job of everyone on the pitch, and have a high intensity in all the situations.
Well, Michael, Leeds went top unbeaten in their first 7 games and then they lost 4 of the next 5. What went wrong there?
Well, I think people watch them, they've seen what they've done, and I think when people are new to the league, I think they can start very well, but then confidence kicks in. Will they still do the same things? Will they get on the ball? Will they split? Will they be as brave? And that tests a few players out. So obviously he decided to change a couple. They've got the result and he's stuck with them tonight. So it'll be interesting to see whether they're going to be a little bit more resolute against the good Sheffield United team, or will they carry on to keep playing, use their attacking players, and that's what bodes for a great game.
Well, the stats from the win against Bristol City last week show that they did go a lot more direct, the most direct in fact this season in terms of long passes. A high percentage of passes therefore were in the opposition half, and they had the lowest possession this season too, whilst their passing accuracy was the lowest for 106 league games. Keith, what do you make of that?
I think he's just reacted to the defeats that they did have. He's recognised that teams have worked them out a little bit, like Michael said. He's got Lasoga there, who is a physical presence, who has the ability to hold the ball up. And they've gone a little bit more direct, a little bit more clever. So now, for instance, tonight, Sheffield, I think, will they do that, or will they play maybe, you know, not some clever balls in their own defensive tours that we can set traps and go and pray? I think now they're asked questions more, and I think it's only clever. I think he's worked it out a little bit better.
What do you think that you're expecting tonight? Because are we going to see similar to last week and those stats as well, or are we actually going to see perhaps against Bristol City away, difficult place to go, wet and windy conditions? It was tactics for that particular game and they'll change back now.
Well, I think they've got to play against Sheffield United. They've got to get it on the ground, get the wide players involved, and move it like they did early on in the season. I think they're certainly comfortable when that's their style of play. I think for Sheffield United, though, I think they're going to come really strong, press them very, very high and very quickly, and test them out early doors with a couple of tackles. And you see Chris and you see the lads down there, they're certainly going to make this into a derby game very early.
And just on Thomas Christensen as well, he dropped fans' favourite Pontus Jansson, he dropped the summer signing Felix Wilveld in goal. Do you feel he is a man who will make the big calls here at Ellen Road?
I feel he's a man who realises that he has to act here and now on certain situations. We all know the history at this club in terms of the managerial changes. Rob Green leaving in the summer, he hasn't been afraid to challenge senior pros and tweak things, and even in midfield, which we'll get on, to make big decisions.
Well, let's talk about Ronaldo Vieira. Andy mentioned him there as well. First start in the Championship last week. Lee Johnson even singled him out for praise afterwards. What does he bring to the side?
Well, he's had to be very patient for his opportunity. I remember a game last year, it was January time against Derby, and he ran the show in that game. He's played a big part this season. He's been very happy with O'Kane and Phillips, but this boy, he's only 19 years of age, but the confidence he shows, the aggression, the ability to hold it in tight areas and get his team playing, and he protects the back four very well. I think O'Kane is better in possession. Phillips physically gets around the pitch. This boy, probably a bit more of an all-round midfield player, a bit of a throwback type player, maybe when we played in a two-man midfield. He can do it all.
He's a young man, but he's built like a proper man, isn't he?
He's a unit, that's for sure. So I think they've been certainly doing the job with him, getting him physically in a good condition. But that's what's great. You know, he comes into a game like this, and his first start, what a game, full house. And that's when you find out what the players are about. He's got the ability, he's obviously got the build, and I think it's going to be an interesting night for him.
And Calvin Phillips got a lot more freedom in last game against Bristol City. Is that what you expect him to have tonight as well? And do you like him in that role?
Yeah, I don't like him in a number 10 role. For that three-man midfield, I think there needs to be a holder and two box-to-box types. So last weekend, it was more or less he was a 10, had licence to get beyond Lasogga. I think he's better being the box-to-box. I think if you're playing direct to Lasogga, he can run off that. But I'm not quite sure yet in his career he's as good receiving it with his back to play. It's a different skill requirement. But I am a big fan of his. I think he's a very, very bright player.
And Samuel Say's been one of Leeds' standout players so far, playing in that number 10. Out wide last week. Do you expect him in a similar role, and how does he suit that role?
Well, you'd want him as a number 10, but you go back to Phillips, maybe they feel like the strength's not there with him in the middle of the park at the moment, and I think with that, you know, the defensive sort of eye that Phillips has, he can slot in there. And I think he'll drift in, he'll want to get on the ball, but he certainly would be, for me, better as a number 10. But that just shows you where they've had to adapt and change of late.
OK, when we come back, we will focus on Sheffield United and hear from their captain, Billy Sharp. The former Leeds player, now Blades talisman, claims there is no love lost between these two sides.
As our fans say, everybody hates Leeds, but there'll be 30-odd thousand there. It'll be a real good atmosphere on a night game in front of TV cameras.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
Introducing the Renault crossover range, featuring the all-new Koleos, Renault Kadjar and new Captur. Get up to £6,000 off a brand new Kadjar with the Renault Scrappage Scheme, now with 4.9% APR representative.
Look at that. So easy. That's what you call a confident penalty. Reel him in. Oh, he's a big one as well. Unbelievable. And so's this.
Get your money back as a free bet up to £25 if one football result lets you down with Ladbrokes 5T Macca Insurance.
Make sure you put it back, though. Available from App Store and now Google Play. When the fun stops, stop.
We love being green, so the Nest Learning Thermostat connects to your phone, controls your hot water, and helps you save energy. And that's something everyone can appreciate.
Right now at Homebase, we're all about amazing autumn value. Like 3 for 2 on Crown coloured emulsion. But hurry, offer ends Monday. This heavy-duty storage box, just £7.94. And this Sovereign Garden blower vac, now £22. Homebase, always low prices.
Oh, shit. I got this.
Can everybody go to the side of the road? No! Come on! What do I have to do?
I'm the sheep whisperer.
Drivers win at confused.com.
And all because the lady loves Cadbury Milk Tray. Now you could join the Milk Tray Man on your own mission.
Take your coffee experience to new heights. Introducing Virtuo, the new Nespresso coffee system. For a full-bodied, large cup with a generous crema. New Virtuo. Coffee redefined. Nespresso. What else?
Earn points by paying for your holiday with the Preferred Rewards Gold Card. Even better, use your points for all sorts of things you might want or need. Then make a splash when you arrive. Membership rewards points from American Express. What will yours turn into? Search Amex Gold.
We're celebrating being named which Insurance Provider of the Year. Join us and get LV's award-winning insurance for your car, home and even your travels. You'll enjoy brilliant customer service, plus you'll get an online discount when you buy direct at lv.com. So why not see how much you could save?
Yo, what's the deal?
Super cool girl, aspirational friends, lifestyle ad with Bud Light at the end. Marketing gimmick, hot women, hot men, giving the rabbits 8 out of 10. Fresh, smooth, lighthearted beer for a try-hard world. Don't overthink it, just watch it swirl. Follow your heart, ooh, those pants look quite tight. Drink with your face and keep it Bud Light.
Don't miss our biggest dedicated collection of animated movies ever. Available now on Sky Cinema Animation.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
Melberg's got the ball. Obviously, he's throwing it from there. And I've gone this way just to run, to just get back into my position, and all of a sudden, just heard the fans cheer. Turn round, I've seen the ball in the net, and anything with his hands in his head.
I didn't actually see what had happened. I just looked and seen ink sort of like that, as if to say, oh my God, it's happened.
Just the expression on Enkelman's face afterwards, you know, he just looked absolutely frightened to death.
Oh, it's a disaster! It's gone in off Enkelman!
I hope that doesn't happen at the weekend.
I've seen it time and time again. I've paused it, and you just cannot tell if he's touched it or not.
What a game to do that in.
An iconic moment, wasn't it? But whether Birmingham Aston Villa was in the Premier League or the Championship, it would still be a massive game in this division. You can hear some of the stories from players involved down the years in the Second City Derby documentary. It's on at 10:15 tonight and also on demand. The game itself is Sunday from 11:30, Sky Sports Football. And the EFL podcast is available to download. Birmingham's Paul Robinson joins David Prutton and Don Goodman. Well, we have a derby this evening, a Yorkshire one from Ellen Road. West meets South, Leeds United, Sheffield United. A win for Chris Wilder's side and they go top of the Sky Bet Championship. Well, last season, Billy Sharp's 30 goals helped fire Sheffield United back into the Championship after a 6-year absence. Today, the Blades captain, a lifelong fan, lines up against the former club, Leeds United, for the very first time. This week, he spoke to Jonathan Oates.
And it's Billy Sharp! Just another day at the office for him. His love affair with his boyhood club continues. The Sheffield United fan, the Sheffield United captain, he never lets them down.
It's your third spell at Sheffield United now, of course. Do you only feel now that you're really living the dream?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was dreaming the first time I was playing. It was only a short spell, then I went away, came back, and I was still a young kid, but was in and out of the team, and I feel like a Sheffield United player this time rather than just being in a film or a dream. Yeah, definitely.
You scored 35 goals since the start of last season. There's only one man in the country who scored more than you in English League football in that time. Any idea who that might be?
Probably Harry Kane. Yeah,
yeah, not bad company to be in though, is it?
Oh, he's on fire as well at the minute, but at this team, it's not about individuals. 9
wins out of 13 games so far, third in the league. You go top if you win on Friday. Is this going even better than you dared hope?
Yeah, obviously it's going really well. The boys are enjoying the ride at the minute. We've adapted to the league really quickly. The lads who have come in have, you know, they've really done well when they've had their chance as well.
Leeds to come on Friday. It's the first time you've been back there since leaving them. Do you feel that perhaps they never really saw the best of you?
Yeah, I don't think they did see the best of me, but I don't think I've got a point to prove now. But I'll enjoy going back there. I like playing against my old clubs. It's going to be a brilliant Yorkshire derby, and I'm looking forward to it.
And if you score at Leeds, will you celebrate?
Yeah, of course. Sheffield United player now. It's my job, and I will celebrate. Yeah, as long as it's a goal that we're in front of.
Coming up against a big mate of yours in Liam Cooper as well, opposing captains, and you'll be directly in competition with each other. What will that be like? Yeah,
we spoke earlier on in the week. I'll not speak to him now until after the game, but no, I'm looking forward to it. We've said it'd be nice if we were both to lead the teams out and do battle against each other. He's a very good player and a good friend as well.
Obviously the big rivalry around here is between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, but is there some heat in this rivalry as well between Sheffield United and Leeds?
Yeah, definitely. As our fans say, everybody hates Leeds, but there'll be 30-odd thousand there, so the atmosphere will be electric, and it is a good place to play football.
When you came up against Sheffield Wednesday recently, is that like for you, watching from the bench? I mean, should you have ever been on the bench at all for that game?
I begged the gaffer just to be involved. Just it's the second best feeling, other than playing against them, to watch the lads do what they did against the enemy, as you like. It was good and fun to watch. Nice to get one back on them. In the school playgrounds, it was nice to be able to give some stick back to the parents rather than giving me.
You've had that you're a Sheffield United fan and the manager as well. Does all this mean all the more to you two, do you think?
I don't know. Everybody knows the gaffer is a massive blade, and so am I, but I've tried to install it into the lads in the changing room as well. The people who live in Sheffield, I've always said to them, you know, I reckon you'll end up staying living here. Yeah, people are signing new contracts to stay here longer, and it's got a real good buzz about the dressing room and about the club at the minute.
What has the manager done to take the club to the next level? Because Sheffield United were kicking around League One for far too long, 6 seasons. What's he done to really get this club moving again?
We made it clear to the lads last year what he wanted, and it was just about habits, doing them every single day to your best of your ability, and if you didn't do that, he'd make sure you knew about it.
And the manager's been linked with jobs in the Premier League. I suppose it's inevitable, really. What would you say to him about leaving Sheffield United?
Obviously, I don't want him to do it. It's a nice problem for the gaffer to have. He's done really well in the last, all his career. He's worked his way up, and it would be nice for him to manage in the Premier League. Be even better to do it with Sheffield United, but he'll be making the decision at the end of the day, but I think I know what he'll do.
Well, Chris Wilder and Billy Sharp loving life in the Championship with the club they support, but this shows how good a finisher Sharp has been. Just 4 goals short now of 200 since the turn of the century. Only 3 players have scored more in that time, and of all of those players there, none have a better strike rate than the Sheffield United captain. Michael, just how would you describe him?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think Sheffield United is his club. He's found it being home. I think the manager trusts him. He's got a good relationship with him. I think I had that with Neil Warnock when I was there, and I think they've got that together. They have a beer together. They get on very, very, very well. And I think Billy's quality's finally come through. He's scoring the goals. I mean, his record there is sensational. But he's extremely, extremely confident. I think he believes in his team. I just spoke to him down there, and I think he's looking forward to it. And I think they're not frightened of anybody. They're going to take it on like they have every other game. And it's great to see that. And I think Billy's got the eyes and ears for the manager in the dressing room, and I think he controls it, keeps them at it. I think he certainly he has a fantastic role for them.
He's not sure about it, Keith, but how much does him being a fan, the manager being a fan, and the co-owner being a fan play a part in his success?
I can understand why they downplay it, but I think it's very, very evident that it is important. I think players that come into the dressing room, new signings, the recruitment's been good in terms of getting the right type of player in the building. It used to do my head in when I was at Wolves as a young player, young pro, when journeyman pro would come in and dip out and live 2 hours away. I think he really drills it into them, and I think sometimes team spirit is forced. We've all been in dressing rooms where we're trying to make things happen. This is genuine what they've got going here.
Well, Chris Wilder has been a success practically everywhere he's gone. Promotion with Oxford back in 2010 to the Football League, then back-to-back promotions, firstly with Northampton from League Two and Sheffield United, of course, last season. The former Blades ball boy, player, now manager and lifetime fan has the chance to see his team go top of the Championship tonight. He's with Jonathan Oates.
Well, Chris, this will be a great game to play in, won't it? What are you sensing from your players? Are they up for it?
Well, I said last week in a press conference, I'd be a bit embarrassed if any of my players weren't up for any game, but obviously this adds a little bit more. Live on Sky, 35,000 punters inside Ellen Road on a Friday night. It's what you're in the game for, and my players will not be found wanting.
Do you see similarities with the Sheffield Wednesday game? Local derby, big crowd, lots at stake.
Well, these are the games you've got to handle right the way through the Championship. You know, different challenges, different oppositions, different environments, and we had that one at Sheffield Wednesday, and we came through that one, thankfully. And we're really looking to come through this one as well. But we understand the talent that we're playing against, the home record that Leeds United have got, and I think most importantly the passionate support that's going to be right behind them. So it's up to us to get a foothold in the game and quieten the punters. And if we do that, that'll be a sign that we're on top.
Leeds had a bad run lately. They did win last weekend, but does it show that they can be vulnerable?
I think every team in this division will have a bad run. Whether ours is yet to come. We've had a decent start. It's a great effort from the players, but we understand there's loads of games coming up, big hurdles to get over, and I think everybody who talks about the Championship, I don't think there's any game that can be looked at and said, well, that's 3 points, that's 3 points, that's a defeat there. I think anybody can turn anybody over, so we're aware of that, and so will our opposition.
If you can win tonight, you will go top of the Championship. Would that prove you are genuine promotion contenders?
Well, listen, it's 3 points, and it shows that we've won more games than anybody else in this division. So we're not going to turn us back on that. We're not going to turn us back on the position that we're in at the moment. The players have adapted fantastically well. Everybody keeps saying it's 14 games in, but we'd rather be in this position than be struggling at the bottom. So it's a great start, and it's up to us to show that we've got the ability, the attitude, the character to carry it on, and we're wanting to do that.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers.
Well, in the Premier League era, no newly promoted side to the Championship has taken more points at this stage of the season than Chris's Sheffield United. And of those 5 other sides there, 3 went on to be automatically promoted and 1 other finished in the playoffs. Keith, long way to go, but what has been the key to their good starts?
The togetherness, the aggression in which they play, the momentum they've brought from League One, the manager right at the forefront of that. We were just speaking off camera now. He looks like he wants to play that game, Chris Wilder. He's that buzzing for it. I think he's instilled that much confidence in this group that they are more than capable to take on anybody in this division. And I think so far they've been sensational, I really do.
Michael, how impressed have you been with the way they've attacked the Championship?
Very, very impressed. It's a fantastic team, and that's first and foremost. And I think when they're playing there, I think each other covers for every other person on the football pitch, and the togetherness is fantastic. And for me, how they've done it, how they've actually not sat back and actually wanted to go and win games. And I think Chris was actually quoted in saying they don't go out other than to win the game, which is extremely rare these days for a newly promoted team.
A 3-5-2, and as Andy said, 80% of the attacks go down the wings. And it's not often you see the centre-backs overlapping the wing-backs, is it?
The only time I've seen it in and around this area is Bristol City a few years. Steve Cotter's team used to do it, but it's so positive. I think at times, we've spoke about Leeds, maybe teams working them out, how will they be able to sustain that? Will they be conservative at times? But you've got full-backs going, centre-halves going, and you've got 2 strikers up front, one of them can spin into the channel. They've got so many different options, and it's refreshing to see a style of football like that.
And how impressed have you been with Enda Stevens, a summer signing from Portsmouth, with a step up from League Two to the Championship?
It's always difficult. I mean, to actually take that step as he has is, it's full credit to him. But I think it's the coaching staff as well. I think, the signings have been good, especially since Chris took charge. I think they're growing the squad. We were just looking there with their bench, and people have left at home and people to still come in. And I think we talk, what will they do in January if they're actually still in this position? And I think that'll be the difficult one for them, for the team, how they progress next.
And Sheffield United have faced the fewest amount of shots on target, so it's not just working going forward, it's working defensively as well.
Yeah, they're just on. They don't like the opposition to settle. So if Leeds do that in their own half tonight, they're going to be on them. They're going to be full throttle in their faces, as he's alluded to in his interview.
How key is that Fleck-Coots partnership in midfield?
I think it's massive, I really do. I think if you went and recruited and you scouted those for Coventry when Fleck was at Coventry, when Coots was at Derby, you wouldn't put them together as a pair. But it works in this team with the personnel that they have around it.
Why wouldn't you put them together?
They haven't really got the energy and legs to play as a two, but when you stick everything else around it, the legs behind, the centre halves going, Baldock, Stevens, technically very, very good. Before Coots had his injury a few years ago at Derby, I thought he was top notch. He's had to be more cute in terms of how he plays the game. Those two have the ability to dictate the tempo, the pace of the game. They can go short, they can manipulate the ball, take the sting out of the game, equally have a long pass in the locker.
How do you see those two as a midfield two?
Well, I see that they've developed together. Do you know, in the team, I think the odd little tweak here or there, but they've had a good run together. They understand each other, and like you say, short and long passes. But I think they know the game. They know when to slow it down, when to quicken it up, and obviously fantastic again for the recruitment side.
You've played in this fixture for Sheffield United 2 times. You won both of them, but both were at Bramall Lane. What are you expecting tonight?
Well, a different game to that. I think we were heavily underdogs at that time when those games were on. Fantastic games and great memories for myself. But today, I think it'll all depend on how Leeds move the ball. If they move it well, it'll be difficult for Sheffield United. But we said that last time. It's Sheffield Wednesday. But I think it'll be an interesting game.
Keith, how do you see it? Will Sheffield United go top tonight?
I think they can do it, and I think very much depends on what way Leeds approach the game. If they play similar to the way they play against Bristol City, then I think they can get a result, no question about it. But if they play a little bit tippy-tappy, a little bit predictable in their defensive third, it's going to play right into Sheffield's hands.
It should be a fascinating game tonight. Sheffield United have the chance to go top of the Sky Bet Championship, but this is Ellen Road and they face Leeds United. A Yorkshire derby comes next.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
Say yes to the city. Lexus CT Hybrid. Experience amazing.
Unbelievable. Too right. You gotta love these Betway boosts. Big enhanced prices every day. Why? Well, why not? How could you possibly resist these great odds? Do something. I will. These odds are far too good to turn down. Hurry! You don't need to ask me twice. Done. I've got a good feeling about this.
For the love of the game. Betway.
At Argos, there's nothing to pay for 6 months every time you spend £99 or more on the Argos card. That's 6 months of box set binges on these Samsung Smart TVs, staying daisy fresh with these Indesit washing machines, pampering for parties with all these Babyliss beauty products, up all night gaming on the latest PS4, and entertaining the kids with all these Lego toys without paying a penny. Buy it today, pay nothing until April 2018 with the Argos card. Go Argos.
We're celebrating being named which Insurance Provider of the Year. Join us and get LV's award-winning insurance for your car, home and even your travels. You'll enjoy brilliant customer service, plus you'll get an online discount when you buy direct at lv.com. So why not see how much you could save?
Not everything is as dark as it seems. New Green and Black's Velvet Edition, a range of sumptuously smooth dark chocolate.
Be one with innovation. And embrace victory. Hanguk Tower and Real Madrid. together as one. Be one with it. Hanguk Tar, global partner of Real Madrid.
In the early 80s, two guys were born. Their names were Jeff and Andy. They grew up, developed facial hair, and one day, while buying razors, they wondered,
why do razors cost so much?
Jeff and Andy were confused, so they started their own razor company. They even bought a factory in Germany.
They bought my factory.
Jeff and Andy started to make razors that looked like they were designed on Earth, not in space. And by selling directly to you on the internet, Harry's can offer a quality shave at a fair price. Get started with a Harry's trial set delivered to you for $2.95. Harry's, shaving's other guys.
What's that, Mrs. Wren? You want to show us the new Vogue collection? Oh, that looks gorgeous. Oh, look, bird nesting boxes. Oh, sorry, built-in wine rack. Soft closed drawers and doors as standard. Ha, an integrated pet bed. Very inviting. Ah, the new Vogue Shaker collection with worktops and appliances from £80 per month, interest-free. Also, all Wren kitchens are half price plus an extra 20% off.
Yo, what's the deal?
Take the shot.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
Well, Sheffield United have been a breath of fresh air since coming up from League One, not worrying about names and reputations, just playing their way. A win tonight at Ellen Road and they go top of the Championship, but victory for Leeds and they only go 3 points off leaders Wolves. Well, as Leeds owner Andrea Radrizzani speaking to the Ellen Road crowd in a bid to raise £200,000 for Toby Nye, a 4-year-old Leeds fan who is suffering from high-risk neuroblastoma, which is a rare form of cancer. The players and staff here at Leeds have donated a day's salary already to the cause, and we all hope that that target is, of course, reached. And it certainly puts things into perspective, doesn't it? But Leeds at Ellen Road will attack, and we know Sheffield United love to attack. We should be in for a very exciting game. Your commentary team, Andy Hinchcliffe and Daniel Mann.
Yes, thank you, Scott. Good evening. Looking forward to this. It has been a while. That is Toby Knight. And, well, magnificent gesture from the players and the staff here to donate a day's wages to help his cause. And can only echo Scott's earlier sentiments. Of Liam Cooper, the Leeds skipper today. Well, over 6 years since these two met, longer still since they have come together, looking upwards with such optimism. There's a long way to go before the days of reckoning, but this can certainly be seen as a bit of a litmus test for both. And for Sheffield United, the lure of top spot tonight, which will be theirs with a victory. Well, there were some suggestions that Leeds would switch to a back three to match Sheffield United today. It would appear not. The only change to the side that won handsomely at Bristol City last week is the return of Vernon Anita at left back. Gaetano Berardi is suspended after his red card at Ashton Gate. It's again a reshaped midfield full of youthful strut. Calvin Phillips more advanced than has been the case. The all-action Ronaldo Vieira behind him. Stuart Dallas is back in the squad after a bereavement. Sheffield United named the same team that defeated Reading last week. Ex-Leeds man Billy Sharp returns to Elland Road as captain, perhaps hoping to follow the example of Leon Clarke alongside him, who's made a habit of scoring against his old clubs lately. Mark Duffy has played his way back into the team in an advanced midfield role. They've added Premier League loanees in Cameron Carter-Vickers from Spurs, who's an athletic presence at the back, and Jamal Blackman from Chelsea in goal, who turns 24 today. Well, it would be a significant date in the diary, however the league table might look. Add all that into the mix, and there is a tasty Friday night in prospect here at Elland Road.
Blimey, how far is it to go to extra and lose in the 92nd minute? It's a long way. Thank goodness for that. We don't have to interrupt Alan Lambourne.
Supercharge your Saturday with our Soccer Saturday price boost. Check out the latest odds on 3 o'clock's biggest games for new and existing customers. Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Well, there was a clamour for this man's selection amongst the Leeds supporters. It was answered and wholly vindicated at Ashton Gate last week, where he ran the show, Andy.
Yeah, he was man of the match against Bristol City. In central midfield tonight is a key battleground, and young Ronaldo Vieira plays with both aggression and maturity, and they're both much needed, of course, in a feisty Yorkshire derby. No Championship side attacks more down the flanks than the Blades. Ender Stevens has been a consistent supply line down the left. Sharp and Clarke must love having him in the team. His first thought is always to deliver crosses for them.
Well, he's discussed the potential intensity of this fixture. He played in it himself. He didn't always have the best of fortunes, but they have already proved their point on that score the other week at Hillsborough. Well, they really showed they can handle this kind of occasion perfectly. For Thomas Christensen, well, he's delighted to be back on track. The tweaking, the reshaping has certainly worked for him. And that 3-0 victory at Bristol City has shown a pragmatic streak, a more direct approach. And they may be posed get more involved at the top end anyway this season, but this more advanced position gives him more chance to do that.
Yeah, the goals are starting to flow from him. I do think it's important though, because he has defensive instincts, and you would expect in periods of the game Sheffield United will be on top, and Phillips will be always willing to drop back and help out with O'Kane and Vieira.
Towards the head of Leon Clarke. Duffy has certainly faced some stiff competition for his place in the team, but he's winning that battle at the moment, the Scouser.
Calvin Phillips given licence to break forward for Leeds United. Mark Duffy, similar kind of role for him tonight, get up and support the front two.
Clarke with an adroit flick, Duffy's ball, Sharp is there! Well, he has made his mark on his return to Elland Road. Sharp by name, sharp by nature, and they are delighted.
It's a sensational goal, it's sensational link-up play. This is off the training ground, it's great understanding, but Billy Sharp, how many times do you see this? The way he gets away from defenders when play's developing, he doesn't stand and watch. He gets into the most dangerous areas, he gets away from Pennington, away from big centre-halves. He's not the biggest, Billy Sharp, but when you get into positions like this, with the composure that he shows in front of goal, no real celebration from him, but a wonderful start for Sheffield United.
Well, the statistics will tell you that this is a fixture where the first goal means more than most. That will go Sheffield United's way, the tangle there involving Carter-Vickers and Luke Ayling.
Well, to me, this should be a Leeds free kick. He actually goes to clear the ball, touches it with his standing foot, and then seems to foul Ayling, so he's very fortunate to get away with this. You see here, goes to clear it, touches it with his other foot, and then fouls Ayling. Free kick's got it, the referee, sorry, he's got it wrong. Free kick should have gone Ayling's way.
Scott Duncan, he did say that he'd go easy on him, Andy, before the game. And that was met by Cooper. And Sharp again. Looking towards Leon Clark. He's really done tremendously well. Baldock not producing any meaningful end product there.
That's a brilliant goal from Sheffield United. I talked about Mark Duffy getting forward and supporting the front two. That's what he does here. Plays off Leon Clark and then he gets his head up, picks out Billy Sharp, who's drifted away far too easily from Pennington. For a centre-half, don't worry about the ball, worry about where it's going to end up, worry about where Billy Sharp is. You don't, and you pick the ball out of your own net.
Jousting there with Pennington in the air, Billy Sharp. Well, the first goal is absolutely vital to Leeds United. If they get it, they tend to head in the right direction. If they don't, and it certainly applies to Sheffield United in a positive sense when they do get the first. Of course, breaking out around the ground with 4 minutes on the clock for Toby Nye. It is his night here at Elland Road. But at this moment, Sheffield United have cause to believe it will be their game.
One thing we know from Sheffield United, they can hold on to a lead, but they won't just sit back here. Of course, it's so early in the game, they can't afford to sit back, but they're going to go looking for a second and a third, and Chris Wilder's instilled that into his team. OK, we've scored, but let's go and get the next goal in the game.
Junan O'Kane. Saiz out on that left-hand side as a result of Phillips' switch to a more advanced position. Here's Vernon Anita to take the throw. He's seen most of his football in the Leeds United shirt in this position. Indeed, even when he started at right back in midweek in the Carabao Cup, he ended up there in the second half because of Borthwick Jackson's injury. Coots. Clark helped on by Duffy again, and it's Pennington who has to mop up there for Leeds. Centre back of great potential, who's keeping out Pontus Jansson. That's a foul on that Saiz. Andy Lonergan, very much the number one, and he's got to watch out here. Leon Clark has nicked it. Offside flag.
Well, Leeds need to switch on here. They've got a goal down early. They can't afford to be complacent at the back, be lazy, because the pressure is going to come on right from the front. Leon Clark chasing the keeper down. They get away with it this time. Can't afford to do it again.
It's a fairly big call from Thomas Christensen. He knows exactly what he's going to get from Andy Lonergan back here at Leeds United. Felix Friedwald has had a few difficult days this season, possibly none more so than at Hillsborough. Michel Lasogga arguing the toss, but third league game in a row Lonergan has started. So just a watching brief for Felix Wiedwald. The statistics don't make pretty reading.
And if you wonder why he's not in the side, you just have to read that graphic.
That's Carter Vickers. Coots. Fleck. Scottish accent strong in the Sheffield United midfield, although Fleck has slipped and Phillips seizes upon it. Here's Alioski. There is Coots, as he got himself into a bit of trouble.
Well, certainly for the first 15-20 minutes, you can't afford to dwell on the ball. A couple of touches, get rid of it. We see Coots there, good defensive position, but dwelling on the ball and close down.
The high-octane derby feel is certainly there, but this is promising. Leon Clark was screaming for it on the far side, but here's Sharp. Duffy gets it back. Oh, and Clark was in there. Well, Pennington stooped, but really didn't conquer.
Well, you see how many bodies Sheffield United get into the box. Billy Sharp, the centre-forward, has been dragged out to the left-hand side here. But his teammates say, OK, we haven't got him in the box, but I'll make up the numbers, I'll get in there. So they've got 3 players in the box. There's so much nervousness there. You see Liam Cooper doesn't actually see Leon Clark making a move on his left shoulder. A firmer contact here, and it could have been 2-0, but defensively Leeds being asked enormous questions.
Oh, great expression from Leon Clark, really summed it up. Leeds have got to find an answer, and here's Luke Ayling. Alioski on the move. Ender Stevens tidying up. Really outstanding acquisition for Sheffield United this summer.
It's not going to be easy for 2 of Leeds' most influential players, Alioski and Saiz, to get heavily involved in the game because of the Sheffield United formation with their wing-backs. When Leeds are in possession, as you can see here, they can get really close to their men.
Saiz. Anita moving forward into plenty of wide open space with Saiz having come infield. Ayling. Pennington wins his battle. Sharp with a slight push on O'Kane, but it was after the ball had gone. Here is Vieira. And Ewan O'Kane has certainly stepped out of the shadows this season. A tangle there between Phillips and O'Connell. Well, it is popping about. There's good pace to it. That's asked too much of Samuel Saiz, who would have needed a jetpack to have the pace to get to that. Clark. Now Anita. Baldock making that his. It'll fall the way of Fleck. And O'Connell's on the move. It's a really interesting feature of Sheffield United's game, how far forward he can get. We'll see if it becomes a major feature of this game.
It's not a phrase I've used a lot in commentary over the years, overlapping centre halves, but we certainly see that with Sheffield United.
Rare occasions we've seen it. You imagine it's the sort of thing someone like Marcelo Bielsa would come up with, rather than a manager in the Championship, but there you go. Alioski. Duffy. George Baldock. Into Clark. Coots, Duffy, Stevens, Sharp. That's a little, well, he didn't ask too much of Stevens in the end because he was able to win it. It's a really important challenge, covering challenge from Union O'Kane, but you can see there the flowing football Sheffield United are capable of, and it's all about understanding consistent team selections, players knowing each other's moves, but that is a great challenge from O'Kane, just to stop Sheffield United in their tracks.
He's made a terrific contribution. He hasn't quite been as heralded as some of the others around him so far this season, but you can see in the creative department he's not doing too badly either. Ayling's on hand if Alioski needs it.
Well, the intention is certainly there to try and pick out Lasogga. Just too much flight on the ball. He's a giant goalkeeper. Jamal Blackman is always going to come and collect, take the pressure off his defenders.
6 celebrating his birthday. 24 today. Simon Moore's injuries probably played a bigger role than they expected.
Sharp, Duffy. Sharp again. Baldock. Well, Clark won't get there, but it was Ender Stevens arriving from that wing-back position. Ayling.
Can Vieira win his battle there with Coots? Five appreciation from the Sheffield United supporters.
You see how dangerous Sheffield United are down the flanks. The weight of the pass from Billy Sharp, just attempt Baldock forward. He could just put his foot through the ball. Just the weight of his cross far too heavy for Leon Clark. But down the flanks, Sheffield United so effective.
Here's O'Connor.
Coots.
A breeze away from Saiz, but no way beyond the barrier of O'Kane and Vieira.
Baldock now for Sheffield United.
Flex ball. Well, there's certainly one easy way to measure how hard Leeds have found it to make a real attacking impression.
It's going to be difficult for him, a lone striker against three centre-halves, but Leeds have to work very hard to get him involved in the game. It's absolutely key. They play to his strengths, get the ball in the box, give him something to attack, but so far, no impact on the game whatsoever.
Ayling. Here's Alioski. Now by Ender Stevens.
There's just an opportunity for Lasogga to make some kind of impression. Cooper coming in, away by Baldock. Scooted off Vieira's head and got Vernon Anita chasing.
It seems to me Vieira had no idea that Billy Sharp was still high up the field.
Well, he's not the invisible man, but he seems to have a remarkably elusive quality about him, as many a great striker has.
Well, what Billy Sharp plays on is centre-halves or defenders who ball watch. You see it with Sergio Aguero so many times, in between defenders, stepping away from them. He doesn't get drawn towards the ball, he lets defenders watch the ball, and he gets into the most important positions in and around the 6-yard box. That's why he scores so many simple-looking goals.
Goals have been flowing at a remarkably frequent rate for him in the colours of the club he loves so dearly. Up now to Alioski. Nico Howson, the man on the spot, the assistant referee, helping referee Scott Duncan out with that decision.
It's going to be a good contest, Stevens, against Alioski. He's had a few nibbles already. He's clever here. Alioski just draws Ender Stevens in, takes the ball past him. There's some contact. It is a foul, but he's got to be careful if he gets booked, Stevens. It's going to be a very long evening for him.
He's asking the question, should there have been a card?
It's probably not for that. It's not for that one challenge, but there's been 2 or 3. Just nibble at the heels from Stevens, and that's what the Leeds coach is saying to the 4th official.
Graham Salisbury articulating the case against. Well, this might be a decent route back for Leeds. Alioski, Blackman into the traffic, they dealt with it.
It's a very good starting position from Blackman. He always wants to come off the line and deal with the ball. He'll take out his own defenders if he has to do, but it's positive keeping.
A lot of years ahead of him in this trade. Harrying from Duffy. That harrying has paid off. Baldock. He'll unleash one.
Oh, Mark Duffy's had an outstanding opening 20 minutes of the game. He's created the goal, he's working so hard. That really epitomises what Sheffield United are all about.
There's Alioski into Phillips. Carter Vickers argues the toss, but it's a Leeds free kick.
A number of free kicks in dangerous positions, just a high boot coming through the back of Phillips. It's a naive challenge really from Carter Vickers. You're never going to win the ball without fouling the man, so it's a risk to take, because this is a dangerous position. Alioski so far hasn't got his delivery right, but it only takes one decent ball.
Sogger hanging back here. He's after it, but Blackman able to grab it with relative ease. Alioski quick to close Jack O'Connell down once he knew the ball was about to be rolled, and Christensen encouraging him in that particular endeavour.
Two big sides. I just wondered, Leon Clark and Pennington on the edge of the box. The ball is playing as a team. Defenders breaking forward, attackers fighting back and helping the team out. And Leon Clark, great example of it there.
For some reason, there's a bit of a sense, given that he's been a bit of a wanderer in his career, that maybe that's something against his character. But provides a very positive vibe in the dressing room, very supportive figure. Certainly made some very important contributions in front of goal, tending to come against his old clubs this season.
Well, he is a big target man, obviously, but he's fairly mobile as well. You look at Lasogga, I do believe that Clark will cover more ground than Lasogga, and frankly, even though you're a big striker, you can't just stand there and expect the ball to find you. You've got to be on the move.
Cross there by Ender Stevens. Here's Duffy. Union okay in there.
Leeds are starting to get a foothold in the game. The problem is, Sheffield United, even with less possession, they've got more creative players. There's more players who can score goals than we've seen so far on this Leeds side.
Here's Anita. In now to Lasoga. Ayling. Union O'Kane. Oh, and Leon Clark on the scene. And this could spell more trouble for Leeds. Sharp waits up! And Lonergan produces a terrific reaction. But that was trouble of Leeds' own making.
Not for the first time a player dwelling on the ball. You can't afford to do that when you're left isolated, really. Got to get hold of the ball, get rid of it. The pressure is always going to come on, and Billy Sharp does the right thing. Turns it goalwards. It's a fabulous save, actually, from Andy Lonergan. How important could that prove to be come the end of the match?
Could mean an awful lot. Afford to smile about it, but another test might be heading his way pretty swiftly here, as O'Connell makes the spin to the near post. Terrific bit of goalkeeping, and maybe a crucial one.
Yeah, it's a brilliant save, but again, you can see the two full-backs for Leeds have pushed on, so the centre-halves are isolated, so get rid of the ball, you're going to be under pressure. And there's Billy Sharp getting across defenders, a little nick on the ball. It's coming at the keeper so quickly, it's close to him, but it's the pace on the ball which makes it a very difficult save, and it's a brilliant one.
The keeper found himself backpedaling a touch, but able to get there. Here's Lasoga. Basham making that his. And looking here for Sharp. Did that creep out of play? Every Leeds fan in the immediate vicinity saying yes. It's the assistant referee Philip Dermott over there have a different view. He's got other business to attend to as well. Well, trying to turn possession into some kind of goal threat.
It's not about the amount of possession that you have, it's how effective you are with it. And that's why I say Sheffield United with less of the ball. I think they've got players who can affect the game more than the Leeds players.
They're beaten here last time out against Reading, and have not lost successive games at Ellen Road since the autumn of 2015. Coots penalised for his high boot, in the opinion of the referee.
Just wonder, is that a high boot or a low head? Not so sure.
Pennington. Ayling.
There's great pressure from Sheffield United defensively here. It's virtually a front three that they're defending with, so the midfielders are pushing Duffy on in between the two centre-forwards, and then they're closing Leeds down.
Baldock getting away from Anita, not ultimately getting away from Cooper. That has given them something to build upon. Duffy. You can feel the agitation and the nerves. O'Kane. Baldock. Duffy. Baldock. Oh, he's turned it back, Ayling, with a crucial intervention. But they're looking so inventive and so threatening.
Every time they put 4 or 5 passes together, they look like they're going to open Leeds up.
Clark's flick, Sharp's battle, Baldock, Coots. Duffy making moves outside in Fleck. It's Stevens now for Sheffield United. O'Connell. Phillips certainly up for a battle, in addition to his other qualities. And then the tangle between Sharp and Ayling means that the pressure valve is released that it needed to be from a Leeds perspective.
Oh, Mark Duffy, so instrumental in this Sheffield United performance. Every time he gets on the ball, he looks like something's going to happen. He's got a variety of forward passes. Brilliant little dink over the top. This is not easy for Baldock. You're not going to shoot from that angle. The ball dropping over your head. He does well actually just to pull that ball back. But once they get the ball moving, Sheffield United, and get it wide, very effective indeed.
Duffy was quickly on the scene. Ayling had virtually no time on the ball there. Baldock an important influence. Saiz, Vieira. Again the pressure. Can Lasogga make something of this?
Well, just watching Lasogga's movement when the two lead centre-halves have the ball, he's making, well, no effort to get in front of centre-halves and say, I know I'm going to get a whack maybe at the back, but I can take possession for the team, I can get us higher up the field. He's standing alongside centre-half, just watching the two lead centre-halves pass the ball around. He's got to be far more active and offer himself up to actually take possession and get Leeds up the field.
Well, Vieira really attempting there to impose himself, but Sheffield United have a free kick. Moving ball. Well, we're across Yorkshire tomorrow. Our championship offering on Saturday tea time. Hull against Nottingham Forest, 5:15, Sky Sports Football. And we've had a lot of derbies lately, and this promises to be another special one. Birmingham against Aston Villa, Sunday from 11:30. High noon in the second city. Duffy again, looking for Baldock here and finding, but just strayed a fraction offside. Duffy raised his game after a bit of a fractured pre-season because of very good news in his personal life, the arrival of a new baby. And that affected his preparations, found himself out of the side. But making himself hard to shift at the moment, isn't he? So this was a crucial night. Sheffield United with the opportunity to move 7 points clear of them, and that's a considerable gap at this point of the season, and would be a clear indicator of their ability to go beyond the top six, I suppose, which is the main goal in their focus. Okay, Ayling. Saiz is on his bike. Over on the far side is Vieira. Now Anita. The ball from Vieira to Ayling. Lasogga pointing the way. To say the deliveries have certainly largely not been up to the mark.
He's criticising the centre forward not offering himself up to take possession, but when a ball is played in like that, there's no way Lasogga can get on the end of it.
Unless you can borrow a trampoline.
You're allowed to take a trampoline onto a football pitch? We'll have to check the rules.
There's no law against it, I don't think. No one's thought of that. Here's Saiz. Lasogga doesn't get there. Oh, Phillips! Tremendous goal! And Leeds have found an answer. And it's a man who's come of age this season, who has found a route back into the game for them. Calvin Phillips.
That's a wonderfully sweet strike, and give Thomas Christensen a lot of credit. He wanted Calvin Phillips higher up the pitch for just this kind of situation. Lasogga does actually touch the ball, but he causes a bit of defensive uncertainty. It comes off one of the Sheffield United centre-halves. I think it's Carter Vickers. But how quickly Calvin Phillips sets himself, reacts, anticipates the ball is going to fall his way. It's a beautifully clean strike. It's not easy when a ball is dropping on the volley like this, but he gets his knee over it, doesn't try and smash this ball home. It's just a sweet contact, and the keeper no chance of stopping out of nothing. Leeds are back in it.
Well, now feeling a little bit of heat, although Basham able to shepherd Phillips away and Blackman able to claim. But a flash of impressive technique sometimes is all it takes.
The most important thing is, of course, it's about technique. It's about that anticipation, expecting a ball to fall your way, preparing yourself for it. And Calvin Phillips certainly did that. Brilliant strike.
Fair to say it's warming up very nicely. There's a bit of a conflab now going on down on the Sheffield United bench. Certainly looked likely to add to their tally before that goal came. It's Vieira.
You can see the Sheffield United dominance. They're getting the ball into the Leeds penalty area time and time again, but as I said, it's how effective you are. Leeds get it in there once. Sheffield United are picking the ball out of their net.
Well, goals a big part of his game this season.
It's his willingness to get up in support of Lasogga. Lasogga doesn't actually win that first header, but how quickly he sets himself. It's a beautifully clean strike. I think goalkeepers maybe expect to, when a right-footed player strikes it like that, to go down to the left to make the save, but he just actually draws that ball to the keeper's right. There's no chance of Blackman getting down.
Well, we'll see what effect that has on Sheffield United. They tend to be as tough as teak in the mental department. Setbacks are things they can shrug off, but, well, that's a different sport. Carter Vickers and Lasogga.
But that's what Lasogga has to do. He has to start bullying centre-halves. You don't necessarily get the ball, but get a free kick high up the field.
A little bit of pressure on in Sheffield United's own defensive third. Coots finding a way out of it. Baldock finding it a little more difficult. Ellen Road once again filled with Leeds voices. O'Connell. Clark is under it. Sharp is chasing. Pennington intervenes. Vieira. Cut out there by Stevens. Ayling. Says. Fleet of foot. And Coots felt he bought that free kick.
Oh, is there any contact there? The way he goes diving to the turf, you feel his legs have been taken away from him. Was there any contact? Very, very little.
He got what he wanted. Again, Lasogga taking up that station at the back. Cooper span, but long before the ball had come. In the end, whatever the plan was, it didn't come off. Well, this save from Andy Lonergan has added value now, doesn't it?
I said at the time just how important for this proved to be. A brilliant, instinctive, reactive save. from Lonergan. Make sure it doesn't go 2-0 Sheffield United. And this is how important it was. As Calvin Phillips, his volley, it's a superb volley, draws Leeds level.
Cooper winning his duel, but Clark is not going to give up on that. Sniff of an opportunity, and he's after it. Fleck. Stevens. Alioski's role defensively, a very significant one. He is a player who has played as a full-back, or certainly a wing-back. Baldock. Basham outside him. Duffy. The shot. The flag up. He found himself in a little bit of space between centre-backs again.
Well, that is the worrying thing again. Of course, he's offside, so the defence will say we've done our job. But that ability is not the biggest. He's going to jump above Pennington and head it home, but he just has that knack of getting in between defenders time and again. Just been a little tweak from Leeds United. Calvin Phillips is playing more out on that left-hand side now, and Saiz has come to play probably his more favoured position as a number 10.
And a position in which he's performed very impressively at times this season, more often than not, for Leeds. Here's Baldock. Duffy. Here's Coots. Now the boot's on the other foot a little. We've seen Sheffield United press Leeds feverishly in that kind of situation.
That's absolutely what Leeds have to do. They have to try and squeeze the game, and the opportunities there. Don't do it individually, do it as a team. As Sheffield United get into any kind of passing rhythm, we've seen already in this first half what they're capable of.
Saiz, and forward by Carter-Vickers. Pennington gets it away. Duffy. Pennington again. Duffy. Ronaldo Vieira. O'Connell looking to get Stevens away, but Pennington's alert. Making that his, and there's a chase on here. Lasogga and Carter-Vickers, and Carter-Vickers taking no chance. Alioski. Vieira. O'Kane. Alioski. Ayling. Falls down and falls to the feet of Coots. And Clark clipped by Pennington, and the free kick is going to be given.
Well, if it was intentional from Matt Pennington, it was a daft challenge because Cooper is round on the cover. He's always going to get to the ball, and there's no need for Pennington to clip his man.
He's familiar with the opponents, but has been under a few different umbrellas. Oh, and that's taken very quickly, and it's got them out! And Sharp didn't catch out Andy Lonergan.
Oh, it's a sensational piece of goalkeeping, catastrophic defending from Leeds. They just all go to sleep, they're just waiting for the ball to be lumped in the box. Billy Sharp's on the move. You expect the net to ripple when he's in this type of position. Andy Lonergan does really well. He's out quickly, he stays tall, stays big. That's what we see so many times from keepers like Peter Schmeichel, makes himself big. What an opportunity for Sheffield United to take the lead just before half-time.
Well, whatever Leeds get out of this game, they'll have a lot to thank him for. Well, they found their way level in what, I suppose in a large sense, was an isolated incident. A moment where they managed to fashion an effort on goal. There will be much to attend to for Thomas Christensen. Saiz. After some thought and maybe some discussion amid the din, a free kick given.
There's some flexibility in this Leeds attack now, so he's now ending up on this right-hand side. So they're just chopping and changing positions. And the referee's clearly had enough.
Yeah, trotting up process working against Ender Stevens there.
It's really clever footwork, manipulating that ball so quickly between his feet. Hard for defenders to step in at just the right time and win the ball, and you have to agree, he's overstepped the mark 2 or 3 times, and understandably he's been booked.
Well, another minute of a match that has really rattled along. It's been a great watch. Alioski wastes it, and he knows it.
Well, what on earth are you thinking here? Closing in on half-time. Of course, if you ping this ball into the top corner, you're the hero, but the chances of doing that, well, they're astronomical. Just give your teammates a chance, just whip that ball in, give them something to attack. That's really selfish.
Spent much of the half staring at a big red and white kosh, but it looks as though they are going to go in at the break on level terms. Indeed they do, thanks to an inspired moment from Calvin Phillips, helped out by the presence of Pierre-Michel Lasogga, who may have to impose himself more if they're to truly find a way back. And Billy Sharp with a terrific classic Billy Sharp goal against his old club. But Andy Lonergan has certainly done his job for Leeds here. At the break, it's 1-1.
Did you bring the bibs? Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
The big weekend of 4 Premier League games starts with Man United v Tottenham, live on Sky Sports Premier League.
Another one drives a duster.
Another one drives a duster.
Another one drives a duster.
Hey, whether we get one too.
Another one drives
The Dacia Duster range from 9495. And now with the Dacia Scrappage Scheme, you can save up to £1,000 when you swap your old car for a brand new Dacia Duster. You do the maths.
You can find us in every corner of the world, watching, listening, analysing. We are everywhere, and we see everything. We are members of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and we gamble responsibly at Bet365.
The Mitsubishi Outlander Petrol PHEV, the UK's best-selling plug-in hybrid. In a world of hybrids, some follow, others lead. Now with great finance offers available.
Onky Overdrive.
Apparently, this super duper, high octane, aeronautics grade afterburner is
It's too fast for the roads.
So we built our own roads, and no rules could touch us here.
No rules.
Well, some rules. You still gotta make your bed. You still gotta cut the grass.
2 rules.
Onky Overdrive. Rule the road.
Looking for family time magic? Disney Life is the only subscription that gives you and your family the largest collection of Disney movies, the biggest selection of TV box sets, all 3 Disney channels live, and a library of books and music, all in one easy-to-use app. So share the magic with the whole family and enjoy unlimited downloads on the go, all for $4.99 a month. Disney Life. Start your free trial.
To make the most delicious soup of the day, we source natural ingredients and then expertly blend them together. So it tastes just like it was made today. New soup of the day from Heinz, made with great.
Busy day. It can be hard on your skin. Can your moisturiser keep up?
Neutrogena Hydro Boost, a skin quencher with a hyaluronic-enriched gel matrix that locks in hydration and lasts throughout the day.
For hydrated and supple skin that bounces back.
Hydro Boost Water Gel. Neutrogena.
See what's possible.
Here's a little healthy advice. Eat well, live well, and take care of you, right down to your skin.
Aveeno Daily Moisturising Lotion with naturally active oatmeal locks in moisture and improves the condition of dry skin. For visible results day after day. Aveeno.
Naturally beautiful results.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
1-1 between Leeds United and Sheffield United here at Ellen Road. The stats showing Sheffield United having more attempts in the first half. And just look at that, touches in the opposition box. 13 for the away side, just the 1 for Leeds. That coming in the 34th minute, which was, of course, that Calvin Phillips volley. Well, Michael Brown and Keith Andrews alongside me. Keith, great start for Sheffield United, wasn't it? And great movement all round.
Very simple in terms of how they executed it. Leon Clark wasn't screened. It was too easy in terms of how it's fed into him. It's a clever movement by Duffy, and he delivers. Billy Sharp does what Billy Sharp does very, very well. His movement is really, really bright. Just keep an eye on the edge of the box here, Stevens and Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling as a fullback would normally be on the half cover. The way Sheffield United play, that's the left wing back. He's making a run like a number 10 would, straight into in and around the pound there, just takes Ayling away. Billy Sharp finished well, but Pennington should be doing better as well.
From a Leeds perspective, Michael?
From a Leeds perspective, it's obviously very poor marking. From the start, they've got to screen it better from the throw-in. Obviously as well, the body position of Pennington, it's very close. He's got to open his body so he can see Billy's run. You know, with a poacher like Billy, he's got to do better with his positioning. And obviously, very, very disappointing.
Sheffield United had the chances to put this game to bed, haven't they?
They were magnificent. I thought, you know, early on, I thought they made Leeds very, very nervy. I think Pennington a couple of times got caught on the ball, as we can see. But they just wanted to play. They went short, they went long. It was a fantastic first half performance. And I think they should have went further ahead, as you can see from these chances here. So unlucky not to make it 2.
Andy Lonergan's kept them in on a couple of occasions. Just the one Pennington needs to be brighter. If he's in doubt, go back to Lonergan quicker. But this has been the intensity that Sheffield United have closed and pressed. Billy Sharp, lovely little finish, and Lonergan equal to. He's kept him. Keep an eye on Billy Sharp's movement. He's offside. He comes into the cluster of players. They're bright. They're alive. They're looking to play things quickly. And again, Lonergan keeps them out.
You'd say he'd score there, Sharpie, wouldn't you?
Absolute brilliant movement. Did you see Leeds coming back into it?
I didn't. I think, like you say, one entry there. I think Baldock will be disappointed from a Sheffield United point of view that on the first phase on the header, he didn't come round and cover. But it's a wonderful strike from a boy with fantastic. He's a technician, and you know, if you just watch it again, it's perfection. It's a fantastic strike, and obviously, you know, I've never seen it coming.
So what would you imagine Chris Wilder to be saying right now?
I think he'd be disappointed, but he'll have to get in there and calm things down. They should have been further ahead. They didn't take the chances. They let Leeds back into it. They go again. Leeds have tweaked it now a little bit, tactically sizing in number 10 position, but I would expect the same again from Sheffield.
1-1 here at Ellen Road, and from Sheffield United being in full control and the Ellen Road faithful being kept quiet, things change dramatically with that Phillips volley. The home crowd bouncing now. We are in for some second half.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
It doesn't matter where in Britain you live. Things, people, places, they're all moving forward, all the time. How far we've come can't always be measured in miles. But from one generation to the next, we never stop heading that way. Introducing all-new Ford Fiesta. Together, we go further.
Match day's my favourite day, despite all of these bums in my face. And the clueless steward clearing the way.
We've cleared the way for you to join Paddy Power's VIPP Club. Just place 5 bets of £10 or more in a week, and you'll get a free £10 bet the next week.
At least we got the best seats of them all. Go! My bet's gonna come in, I know. The high fans are...
That's the spirit VIPP. Paddy Power, you beauty.
Take your coffee experience to new heights. Introducing Virtuo, the new Nespresso coffee system. For a full-bodied large cup with a generous crema. New Virtuo. Coffee redefined. Nespresso. What else?
Earn points by paying for your holiday with the Preferred Rewards Gold Card. Even better, use your points for all sorts of things you might want or need. Then make a splash when you arrive. Membership rewards points from American Express. What will yours turn into? Search Amex Gold.
Judith, Keith, you're on your way home from holiday. To find yourselves going no further than the car park.
Yeah, that's right.
Tony here knows where you live, and he's going to take the two of you for a little ride. If you can't drive your car after an accident, Direct Line are the only insurers who will get you a taxi to continue your journey and recover your car. Now, before you go, aren't you forgetting your donkey? No, this one.
At Argos, there's nothing to pay for 6 months every time you spend £99 or more on the Argos card. That's 6 months of box set binges on these Samsung smart TVs, staying daisy fresh with these Indesit washing machines, pampering for parties with all these Babyliss beauty products, up all night gaming on the latest PS4, and entertaining the kids with all these Lego toys without paying a penny. Buy it today, pay nothing until April 2018 with the Argos card. Go Argos.
With the best odds on all English football, you get more with Betfair. More edge-of-the-seat action. More drama. More control. And more last-minute winners. Get more from Betfair with the best odds on all English football. Are you ready for more?
In Compton, you join a gang, or you find another way to survive. My horse was headed to the slaughterhouse when I got her. I think maybe, did I save the horse, or did the horse save me?
Autism, difficulty in communicating, and abstract concepts. Does it sound like I'm describing a surgeon?
Who are you? I'm Dr. Sean Murphy.
I met Sean Murphy when he was 14 years old. He sees things in ways that we can't begin to understand.
Adam needs an echocardiogram.
Child is alive today because of that young man.
Tomorrow one may be dead because of it.
We hire Sean, we give hope to people with limitations that they do have a shot.
Brand new drama, The Good Doctor, starts tonight at 9 on Sky Living.
Screwfix sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the English Football League.
Anthony Joshua versus Carlos Takam is a special event on Sky Sports box office. The action gets underway from 6 tomorrow night with a packed undercard, including 2 world title fights. The Sky customers should go to channel 491 or box office to book this event. Cable customers should contact their operator. For more information on all the ways to watch, go to skysports.com/Joshua. Well, in the battle of this Yorkshire derby, it is 1 apiece between Leeds and Sheffield United. The away side went 1 up in just the second minute. Benny Clark, captain and fan, with a goal, his 6th of the season. Leeds weren't really in the game. They were in need of inspiration, and they got it from Calvin Phillips' sweet strike. His 5th of the campaign. He's only got 2 in his career before this season, but 1-1 it stands at the moment. Leeds fans hoping for the win. In truth, their team have been second best. Sheffield United fans will still be believing they can win this game and go top of the Championship for the first time in 12 years. Second half comes next.
Bet Boost from William Hill lets you decide which odds you want to boost. All you need to do is select your market, go to your bet slip, hit boost, and then place your bet at the boosted price. Don't wait for enhanced or crowd-led prices. We're giving you your own bet boost every day to use on any sport. More choice, more control, and now available on Google Play. William Hill. This is more.
What to expect in this second half? Let's get back to Andy Hinchcliffe and Daniel Mann.
We're all wondering, can Sheffield United produce a second half of similar intensity to the first? Can Leeds rouse themselves? It's certainly a position they're more than a touch fortunate to find themselves in, but you know, if a goalkeeper does his job in inspired fashion, then that certainly helps you out. I imagine there have been a few words of wisdom at half-time. Calvin Phillips again on this left-hand side. Clark absolutely monstering Cooper there. He really roughed him up. You can't afford to do, we saw it in the first half, is you can't afford to wait for that ball to bounce and expect Leon Clark just to not close you down and stand off. He's going to put you under pressure, so Cooper's got to get rid of that ball, put it into the stands and put it to the safest place. Getting in their faces. Carter Vickers is in there, it's gone beyond him, and Ronaldo Vieira got his head on it. And Eunan O'Kane concedes another corner. Leeds with more defending to do. It's a really dangerous ball in, slightly worrying. Andy Lonergan doesn't come off his line. This ball is landing, what, 3 yards away from his line. He's not under any pressure. There's no one in front of him. Come off your line and try and deal with it. Often you see a goalkeeper pinned in those situations. Not here. Lasoga helped back by Carter Vickers. But, playing a little blind. Well, you'd have thought with the opportunities they had that they might almost be there. Well, it can happen. You can dominate a game. Your game plan's working excellently. You could be 2 or 3 up. The opposition scorer, a fantastic individual goal. That can happen, but you don't get too carried away. I'm sure he said to his players, just repeat in the second half what you did in the first and we'll win the game. Soga looking to get on the scene, played forward by Carter Vickers. Again, Clark gets the nod on it.
Clark again, sharp weights. Swept away by by Pennington rather, and John Fleck was arriving on the scene in menacing fashion. Duffy.
We talked about the Sheffield United dominance of the game. Comparing the centre forwards, you see how little the Sogger has been involved in the match, and if Leeds are to go on and try and win this, we saw with the goal, if he puts himself about, he can cause problems, so try and get involved, and Leeds have to, of course, knock quality service into him to give him a chance of affecting the game.
He does have the presence, he does have the poise, he's shown that in, well, not just Leeds United's colours. You've got to remember this was a man who was in the German international squad the year they won the World Cup.
I mean, look at the size of him and the physical threat that he poses. He just doesn't seem that aggressive, doesn't seem to me as if he wants to bully centre-halves like Leon Clark does.
Certainly getting close to the very best most weeks out of, well, many a player. Here's O'Connell. Pennington. Forward by O'Connell. O'Kane. Alioski. Keeps under pressure but delivers a ball that Baldock can make something of. Anita. Here's Basham. Duffy. Baldock almost walked away from Vieira then, but he got a foot in, the young midfielder. And now Leeds can get moving. Can Saiz get away? Well, that's one way of stopping him, and it's a way of stopping him that should see him get a card.
Well, it takes one for the team here, Coots, because Saiz is goal-side, and this might well be the pattern of the game we're going to see. Sheffield United dominating possession, forcing Leeds back, then on the counter-attack. I think Leeds are built to play this way. They've got pacey players. Once they get beyond midfielders, defensive midfielders, well, it's cynical. We can understand why Coots has done it.
It's already served a suspension this season. Pennington deciding to make the trip at the last. Comes out to O'Kane. That could be clever. Saiz. Calvin Phillips there. Just noticed perhaps that Coots didn't quite go the whole hog in that challenge, having just been booked.
Very definitely he didn't. I think if he hadn't been booked, he'd have been thundering into Phillips. He just took it a little bit easy after that booking.
There's a problem for Leon Clark.
He's clearly taken a whack. Big centre forward probably expects to take a few knocks during the course of a big derby game. It's unintentional really from Vieira. It's the fact that Clark doesn't actually see it coming, can't prepare himself or get out of the way, and it's caught cold really.
He's picked up a knock or two. He may have inflicted one or two as well. I think Cooper is struggling a bit, not necessarily related. And Pontus Jansson gets an opportunity, we think. He's certainly got to be prepared for that, given that Cooper is not moving freely. Thomas Christiansen is a manager who's shown he's not afraid to make big calls. Leaving Pontus Jansson out of the side is a fairly big decision. He's the Swede, in rather blunt style, summed up his form on social media in a manner I can't repeat.
It's also for Christensen that that game against Bristol City at Ashton Gate off the back of 3 straight defeats. He brought Vieira back into the side, played a bit more direct, so he was bold, he took a chance. I thought we need to do something to change what's happening, and it worked out.
Shots closing down. Leon Clarke is back on the pitch to cause his usual brand of mischief, and he's not hanging about and getting involved.
Well, it looks to me as if Liam Cooper has really just tweaked a hamstring the way he's been trying to flex that leg and stretch it. But if he has pulled a hamstring, you're not going to run it off. You need to get off the field and get someone fit and able out there.
He's had a couple of little injury issues during the course of the season already, Liam Cooper, but they found themselves pretty good for cover. It's painful for Lasogga.
Cooper does have to come off. He's got a couple of choices on the bench. Christensen, the experienced Janssen, and the youngster Shaughnessy has done really well when he's come into the side. But I think occasion like this, probably understand he'll go for the more experienced centre-half in Pontus Janssen.
By Alioski, but it's fallen the way of O'Connor. Lasogga into his stride, he has help. In the end, it was never quite under his spell. The presence of Basham who'd come across playing a part in that. Cannoned anywhere. With a blink of an eye, he has an influence.
Again, you've got to credit Christensen for the change in tactic in sending Sayes to play as a number 10 rather than out on the left. And this is the area he wants to be. Once he gets on the ball and gets turned, looking at the opposition goal, he's such a danger.
I'm just talking about his influence being on the margins, but certainly almost threatened to turn the game in Leeds' favour. It's Alioski.
Yeah, Christensen made that switch. Calvin Phillips coming out on the left-hand side, so he's happier working defensively, Phillips, but it says in his number 10 position. He's so unlucky, as Blackman is nowhere near it, 6 inches to the left, and that's 2-1 Leeds.
Blackman, in the end as well, grateful that the cannon was kind. Well, he's reshuffled it. Beginning to be some more positive signs. Janssen was out-jumped by Clarke there.
Yeah, but it is a warning shot, of course, for Sheffield United now that says they know he's playing in that position and he's shown how effective he can be, so they've got to deal with that. They can't allow him to get the ball so easily into his feet, allow him to turn and get his shots in.
Good work by O'Kane again, finding Vieira. Carter Vickers. Leck finding Stevens, although given away. Lasogga. Luke Ayling. Anita. Up now to Calvin Phillips. Leeds voices in the stands with a more confident air about them. Vieira. Pennington.
I see Christensen screaming at his Leeds team as well. When Sheffield United are in possession, squeeze up the field, put them under pressure, don't allow them to play easily in front of you.
They gave an exhibition of how to do it earlier in the season at Nottingham Forest. It's something that's very much in their locker. Fleck does have this sort of driving run in him, but a run curtailed. Saiz. He has a driving run in him as well. Oh, and Alioski might pick up the pieces. Well, he's going to award the free kick. Kartavika's making a telling challenge as Alioski threatened to raid.
Starting to have a huge effect on the game. The game's starting to get stretched, so Saiz coming into the game more and more. Great piece of refereeing. He was fouled. Just the weight on the forward pass wasn't quite there. The referee right to pull it back.
Well, the direction of traffic has changed for the moment. Well, it's a long way out, but Alioski seems to fancy it. Secondary wall. They make their move, and it's anti-climax. The best laid plans.
Well, everybody else did their jobs perfectly. The free kick taker had an absolute nightmare. Oh, we know that Calvin Phillips can strike the ball a lot more cleanly than this. His standing foot goes. He's had a David Beckham, hasn't he?
Or two like that.
I tended to find a lot of my managers did a lot of that, and not just when I took free kicks.
Now I know how they fell. I was going to say, you must have had a moment like that yourself. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, anguish could be heard from up here. Phillips going into the challenge. He is a man who is a yellow away from a suspension.
Well, the referee has given himself thinking time, but in real time, it looked a horribly mistimed challenge. Reckless, dangerous. He could do well to stay on here. Looks like he's going to be just yellow carded. He's really, really fortunate. He's a young player. They can be impetuous. They can go flying into challenges unnecessarily. I'll tell you what, he's very lucky to stay on the field, because that is really dangerous. I'm not sure what he's saying to the referee. That's a red card all day long. You see the referee has got a perfect view. Vernon Anitra isn't blocking his view. I'm amazed he's not sent him off.
We will miss the game against Derby in the week, but he's got away with one.
So I don't know on what grounds a referee looks at that, has a good view at that, and thinks, well, why is that a yellow, just a yellow? Because it's reckless, it's dangerous. He's nowhere near the ball, but that's immaterial whether you're playing the ball or not. You go into a challenge with your foot off the ground like that and catch a player's leg. It's so dangerous, and he is mightily fortunate to stay on the field. Well, the good thing is, actually, is it Ender Stevens who got absolutely clattered? Thankfully he's okay. Was it George Baldock, sorry?
Yeah, it was Baldock.
Well, that's the good thing, at least he's okay, and he's okay to carry on. It's a horrible tackle.
Well, understandably, he's, I think, perhaps a touch surprised that he's maybe looking up and seeing 11 opponents. In by Duffy, dangerously, into an area where he could get some joy. Phillips in the way. It was reminiscent, actually, of a goal they scored against Wolves recently, that free kick. Leon Clark getting on the end of it. Looking for similar.
And the great thing about the free kick is not trying to pick somebody out. He's playing that ball with a great trajectory for his teammates to attack. He's playing it into space, and that's what I was taught. Put the ball into space and expect your teammates to move on to it.
Leon Clark found A little more resistance there.
We talk about the two saves that Andy Lonergan has made, having a huge influence on the game, but Calvin Phillips not being sent off. How important could that be?
Ayling getting a foot in there, ahead of Leon Clark. Ayling. Featured in every single game for Leeds. Midweek against Leicester, the first time he didn't start, but he was needed in the second period. Fleck. Ayling there again. Good to see smiles in a game of this intensity. O'Connell. Here's Coots. Oh, Basham driving and winning that particular duel as well. Fleck. Certainly appearing more and more in positions where he can conjure something. In the last couple of minutes, as Sheffield United have a little go back here. Phillips meets it. Means Duffy has another chance. Butler on the Leeds coaching staff, trying to get a message across towards O'Kane. Clark coming in at the back. Here is O'Kane. Vieira. In the end, straight to the feet of Ender Stevens. O'Connell finding Duffy, the Scouse contingent in the Sheffield United team. Basham. Fleck. Coots. Oh, and a rare slip. Alioski has found Saiz here, and this is promising for Leeds. Oh, and Alioski coming in!
I suppose the only problem with the way Sheffield United play, when you give possession away cheap as they do here, and the opposition get at you, you are going to be short in defensive numbers. There's a great run off the ball from Alioski, he's certainly onside. O'Connell plays him on, but he's got to go to the keeper's right. He's there, see the goal, head it back across goal, head it down if you want to, and keep it to the keeper's right, and you probably score.
Edging the attempts. First shot from inside the box since they scored through Calvin Phillips. Stevens.
It just seems Alioski with that opportunity, done all the hard work, he made up the ground, he'd got into a great position, just that lack of conviction, as if he really didn't want to head it. Anybody else, I think if that's Lasoga, I think the ball ends up in the back of the net, because you set yourself, you got there nice and early, you should be scoring.
Fleck. Now Basham. Trying to hit it.
Oh, he's still shaking his head, maybe he's still ruining that opportunity that he's missed. He does well to get up the field in support of Saiz, who picks him out. But you can see there, he's got himself set. He seems to be worried about whether he's going to get clattered by Fleck. But don't worry about that, just make a good firm contact across the keeper and you score.
Christensen getting very unhappy because he wants to make the change, and that chance for Alioski really is last meaningful involvement in the game. Pablo Hernandez coming on, left out again in terms of the starting lineup. He did his best to send a powerful message with a superb goal in the Carabao Cup at Leicester in midweek. You look around and measure Leeds' progress by the fact that, or hold that thought, Clark, Vieira, Vieira finds a way out. Here's Hernandez, out to Phillips, Anita moving outside him, away by Ender Stevens, Vieira. Saiz out to the flank. He's got Ayling for company. Here he is. And Phillips can keep it alive. Oh, and you don't want to open the door, hold the door open for Leon Clark. You've got to kind of, with the best will in the world, slam it in his face.
It was interesting though, when the Hernandez substitution was being made, I just saw Calvin Phillips go across to George Baldock and apologise. So clearly Phillips knows that it was a terrible challenge that he felt he needed to apologise for.
Ender Stevens gets there. Saiz, Hernandez. Hernandez's cross. Telling defensive header. Basham over there.
And actually, Lasogga gets injured by not actually making an attempt to try and win the ball. It's the centre-halves who are so desperate to get to it and actually clatter into Lasogga. If he's stronger and sets himself and actually tries to get the header himself, he maybe doesn't get injured. It's completely sandwiched.
Has he got to find his inner beast a bit more?
And sometimes, no matter how big a player is, they just don't have it in them. It's hard to get out that aggression. It must be in there at times. You must get wound up by certain things, but a centre-half smashing into you like that, surely you'd be saying, right, next time that ball comes in, I'm going to show you something. And I just don't know whether he's got that aggression in him.
Here's Anita. Cut out there by Baldock. Vieira loose. Janssen. Well, we saw this young man come of age at Hillsborough the other week, David Brooks, who's got abundant talent. There's someone that Chris Wilder can turn to when he looks for that bit of further creativity to turn a game in his favour.
He looks so young, it's as if he should be at home doing his homework watching this game rather than coming on to have a big effect, but he is a real talent and a great choice for Chris Wilder to have.
Vieira back to his feet. Baldock, the latest recipient of a yellow card.
That's a late one, maybe the sign of frustration from the challenge that he was on the end of. He was flying in. That's a nasty one too.
Not quite in the same league as the one he was on the receiving end of. O'Connor. Here's O'Kane. Anita. Saiz. O'Kane, Saiz. Hernandez. O'Kane, Saiz. Basham in the way. And they're looking for that moment of penetration, which they couldn't find. Well, Billy Sharp, on his return to his old club, got that early goal for Sheffield United, which seems a little bit of a distant memory now.
It's typical Billy Sharp. He could have had a hat-trick really tonight. I think he'd be disappointed about the two that he's missed. This is so easy for him, his movement, the way he gets away from centre-halves and buries opportunities. Sheffield United, a great start. Leeds have come back into the game.
David Brooks, a man who has been a pleasure to watch when we've seen him this season. Here he is. He's a man possessed of little fear and fresher legs. An unsettling moment at the back. And again, an example of what Sheffield United have been about all night, making life so difficult. Just to confirm from a little earlier, George Baldock receiving a yellow card, his second of the campaign. O'Connell, he's caught out. Hernandez. It's Leon Clark and Janssen again. Came off Janssen's head. Brooks. It's a tangle. It's a tangle that gets Vieira a little spot of bother.
He's appealing to the officials, saying I'm playing the ball, but yeah, you're playing the ball through the man because Brooks has got goal side of you. The last thing you can do is go to ground and try and get the ball, because the referee is always going to blow for a free kick. So he's got goal side of him, and it's a clear foul. He's got nothing to appeal for.
The biggest problem for them is the potential from the set piece. Fleck is providing a different perspective here. It will be Fleck, and it's Lasogga proving his worth defensively. Brooks, where's that going to drop? Clark will be after it. But Janssen tidies up.
Well, that could be Lasogga's most important touch of the game. A brilliant defensive header.
Saiz, looking Leeds' best hope in many ways at the moment. Sheffield United defender had a little nibble and advantage was played. Oh, and Saiz able to win it back from Fleck. Hernandez. He goes down, quickly back on his feet. Tangled there with Baldock. Ayling's up there.
Well, you have to give Saiz a lot of credit here. He doesn't roll about and appeal to the referee. There did look to be a nudge in his back. Baldock didn't get to the ball, seemed to nudge the man. You see, there's absolutely no reaction from Saiz towards the referee, but I tell you what, is it shoulder to shoulder? Is it a shove? That's a debatable one, could have gone either way.
Towards Duffy here, Pennington up there. Here's Brooks. Coots, Duffy. Brooks wants it, but he'll use Coots. Stevens making strides here into a crossing position, and some dramatic defending from Pennington. O'Connell robbed, and space to exploit. Saiz. Action there to tidy up. And do more than that, potentially. Especially with a willing chaser like Leon Clark around.
Well, the game getting really stretched, both sides desperate to win it. Surely there's going to be one decent chance in the final 10 minutes for either Leeds or Sheffield United to claim all 3 points.
Blackman certainly feeling, as the officials did, that he was safely inside. Clark. Fleck driving and pulling it back for Clark. Well, he knows that was a moment that could have made a huge difference.
It's great movement here from David Brooks. He runs towards the near post, that opens space up for Leon Clark. It's just a bouncing ball, a bobbling ball. It's difficult to get a really good clean contact and tuck it in the corner from there.
Duffy. Brooks one way. Here's Brooks! Oh, what a time! What a place to get your first senior goal! This bright young thing may just have won the derby for Sheffield United and sent them to the top of the table.
Well, the last 2 or 3 minutes, Sheffield United have started to turn the screw, put pressure on Leeds defensively. Oh, we know this young man is a real talent, but he actually lays the ball off and he makes an attacking move. He runs in behind that Leeds defence, in behind Luke Ayling, but how composed is he? Youngsters in this position might have been tempted just to try and smash this ball, hope they can put it past the keeper, but he virtually passes it into that far corner. It's a wonderful finish. The weight of the pass really encourages him to have a good look at the goal, decide what he wants to do, doesn't even need to take a touch, and that is simply wonderful.
Well, very tempted to say, remember the name. First goal in senior football. He did notch for Halifax during his time on loan there. But he's becoming a favourite as the Sheffield United fans delve into their scratchy vinyl collection and dig out some Joy Division. Certainly he is a player that's going to bring them plenty of joy. Here's Saiz. Now a trademark O'Connell surge, and he looks to get Brooks involved again. In the aftermath of all that, Leon Clark was booked. The fourth Sheffield United player to receive a card tonight. J. Roy Crotts is the final Leeds substitute on the night. Vernon Anita withdrawn. Vieira. Janssen, with Brooks buzzing around. McCain fouled by Fleck. Fifth yellow card of the night for John Fleck, and that will mean he will be suspended when they face Queen's Park Rangers. Well, Thomas Christensen getting very unhappy about the speed or otherwise of this change and the length of this break in the game. Mark Duffy is trying to wander away, and I think he's been substituted, and he's been chased down by Samuel Saiz, who's got involved. Phillips has got involved, and it's all a bit unnecessary. And Scott Duncan has to pour some oil on a few troubled waters.
Frustrations boiling over. You can see that Leeds were desperate to get Mark Duffy off the field, get the substitution made so they can try and retrieve the situation.
Duffy was desperate not to get off the field, and actually had moved away from the touchline and back towards the centre circle, and that's what sparked the little bout of aggression. And John Lundstrom comes on. Scouser for a Scouser. The two skippers called together. Towards Crott. Clark driving with determination, finding Brooks. Well, Ronaldo Vieira stopping him in the only realistic way at that moment.
It's the weight of the pass from Clark that tempts Vieira in here, but the first touch again from Brooks, so short, nudges it past his man. It was clearly taken out.
So another Leeds booking, the second of the night. Fleck are going to conspire here to produce something special, they hope. Fleck in there and Clark up. Well, Fleck has just been booked, and this is Duffy going walkabout when he's about to be substituted, and Fleck got right in the mix of that.
Well, you have to be sent off, you raise an arm. You can see what Saiz is wanting. He shouldn't be doing that, but Fleck comes in and shoves the man to the ground. The referee sees it. Clearly the referee can't have seen it, because Fleck would have been off.
Well, two men in the midfield area who've got away with it, one on either side. Coots, Baldock, Lundstrom, and again, just a little too much of Baldock. Well, Andy, thoughts on your man of the match?
Well, in games like this, big local derbies, you're looking for that creative spark, creative influence, and Mark Duffy has certainly been that man for Sheffield United. Played the two passes, forward passes, that ended up with the Sheffield United goals.
The star performer in the Sheffield United team. He's been the top creator around tonight.
He's a player that works very hard for the team, but his first thought is to get on the half turn and to play Those killer forward balls, that's what he's done tonight, and that's why Sheffield United look like they're going top of the Championship.
Well, he's found Yorkshire derbies very much to his taste this season so far. The win at Hillsborough will be 1-0 treasure for many a long year. Beaten Barnsley at Bramall Lane as well. But it's not a win yet here at Ellen Road, and we're about to find out just how long there may be for Leeds to retrieve the situation. Well, a night of more rich memories this season. They will want to forget it unless in the next 5 minutes something can turn. Vieira, Lundstrom. Throw in that goes Sheffield United's way. The last victory on this ground 12 years ago when Neil Warnock was at the helm, when they were on their way to promotion to the Premier League. Second-minute goal as well that day. Brooks. Kane looking to find Saiz, but Baldock defends it. With a real imposing physique. It's fair to say the jury's still out amongst the Leeds fans, but he has plenty of good raw materials to work with. Here's Saiz. Hernandez looking for Saiz. One for Lasogga to fight for, one for Krot to fight for.
Well, they have two big targets in the penalty area. It might not be pretty, but Leeds has just got to lump that ball in and hope one of the two big men win the ball. They might score, might break to one of their teammates, and they can maybe rescue a point.
Brooks, Lundstrom, Janssen determined to make sure that ball was his. Close to completing another victory that he'll look back on with fondness in the years to come. Brooks.
You can see what Brooks is trying to do there, use Pontus Jansson as a screen and just whip that ball into the top corner. Just gets it slightly wrong. He certainly got it right for the goal. He just rolls his man, uses his body. He's only slight, but he uses his body really well. He's a better finisher than that.
Clark in the 94th minute. Still pressing, closing down pretty much as urgently as he did in the first. Lasogga, Saiz. In the end, only promise there for Leeds. Promise unfulfilled. Janssen. O'Kane. Hernandez. Little twist, little turn. and will take a few extra seconds, and the belief reduces. What are they believing is possible now? What is he believing is possible now? A season of consolidation plus, I think, was the initial target. When does he shift his sights a little, if he hasn't already?
Well, it's not an overnight success story for Sheffield United. They have been a quality side for a good, 13, 14 months. 4th of September 2016, he changed to a back three against Gillingham, and Sheffield United have never looked back. They've got a 70% win rate since they changed to that formation, and that could take them all the way to the Premier League.
Hernandez. Saiz. Hernandez. Saiz. Could there be a sting in the tail here? Hernandez. It is another memorable night for Chris Wilder and Sheffield United. And you start to believe that maybe an extraordinary story could take shape. An extraordinary career for Sheffield United. Could have had a bit of more lift-off here with David Brooks getting a memorable winning goal. Billy Sharp up to his old tricks at the home of his old club, giving them the lead after 2 minutes. Leeds weren't really in the game, but they got an equaliser through Calvin Phillips, who was very fortunate not to see red in the second period. Leeds hit the post through Samuel Saiz. Andy Lonergan made some absolutely crucial and fantastic saves, although crucial at the time. Ultimately, they haven't proved to count for anything. All it did in the end was delay Sheffield United wrapping up the victory. Leon Clarke worked so tirelessly.